Folks, Aldershot here, and today we're going to do an impression on Castaway Paradise. It's developed by Hidden Couch Games. It's currently on sale on Steam at the regular price, around $15 USD. And if you're not familiar with Castaway Paradise, it's sort of like Animal Crossing, as in it's a lot like Animal Crossing, right? But anyways, we'll jump into the game, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, at the end of the video, we'll talk about the options menu, as well as any extra features, if the game has any. But for the time being, let's just jump into the main game. We're just loading into a save file that we already got going here. Alright, great. So here we are. This is our little avatar, our little guy. Or girl. You can have him be a lady if you choose so. I have him as a dude. But anyways, yeah, so you just kind of go around the world and do random tedious tasks. That's essentially the game. There you go. I just summed it up for you guys. You guys can end the video here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I'll show you a little bit more about this little home abode that we got going on here. This is our little home where we can sleep and store our extra items and all that kind of stuff. And this game is really all about collecting items, let me tell you. Let's see, let's put away some of these bugs. We don't need those. We'll throw it into storage. As you can see, this is all the stuff that we've collected so far and put into storage that we don't need to carry around with us in our main inventory. But that's essentially the game, is go around collecting a bunch of stuff. And also collecting some customizations for your character, because you can actually customize them, as you can see. There's various degrees of different types of customization for their heads, for their bodies, for their feet, you name it. Whatever appendages you can think of, this game has a customization for it, which is pretty rad, I guess. Now you can actually buy more different types of customization through these like little gems here, you know. I don't know what you call them, diamonds or whatever, but you get them through doing various tasks. You can do quests or just do random stuff, really. Let's see, here's a random thing that we can do. We can grab our nets and catch this bug here. I'm not sure you guys can see, it's very, very tiny. There we go. Oh, we missed. So let's try that again. Come on now. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Now, the interesting thing about bug catching in this game is that there's actually a leaderboard, and the bug you collect will have a randomly generated size, and I'll go into the weekly top 10, as you can see right here, which I thought was kind of cool. You know, a little random bit of competition. Never hurt anybody. Another little bug here. We'll get that guy too. Let's see. We didn't make it to the leaderboards, but that's alright. We added another bug to our collection. Now you might be asking, why are we doing all these things? Why are we collecting bugs? Why are we customizing our characters and all that stuff? Now, if you played Animal Crossing, it's kind of similar in that you're just kind of going around in this world around here, you know, as you can see. We only have this area unlocked right now, the first area, but eventually we'll be able to have access to different parts of the island, just like that, right? And that'll allow you to access different things and have more land to customize your little town with, which is really the ultimate goal, essentially, is to customize your town and yourself to your liking. In fact, you can actually do it to a fair degree, including, like, for example, let's go to our catalog. This is basically where we'll be kind of making our purchases here, but let's see here. Let's put down, let's put down some fences, why not? So let's put some outer fences, sure, we'll buy, say, 2 pieces. And that'll cost us these little diamond currency things right here. We got 7,000 of it, so right now we're doing pretty good. But yeah, that's basically the currency, and that's why you'll be buying all your loot with. Let's see, we bought some fences, so let's try them out. Let's put them out in the world through our inventory. You just have to click this here and scroll over. Here's our fences. Alright, well, let's put them down. Let's say one right here for some reason. And let's see, we can also turn them around just like this. Pretty easy right here. Now, as you can see, you know, the buttons are pretty big, and everything is done through the mouse, right? Even the UI seems extremely, how shall we say, mouse-friendly, right? And there's a very good reason for that. This is actually an iOS port, but, you know, from the looks of it, it looks like they've done a pretty good job at porting. I don't know, like, the UI could be improved a little bit just because there's a lot of wasted space here, where, you know, fat fingers isn't an issue on the PC, right? So it just could have been done a little bit more user-friendly, a little bit. Like, for example, if I hit escape on the keyboard, nothing happens. If I want to escape the game, I actually have to go into my inventory, pop open this big old window here, and then click the quit button here to get out of the game. Now, I'm not going to do that, obviously. We're still recording. But it's just little quality of life things like that that kind of bugs me just a little bit. But that's really because it's an iOS port, right? And these things are somewhat expected. Not excusable, but expected, right? But anyways, let's continue our merry way and keep grinding for things to do. Now, we do have a variety of different tools that we have available to us, and obviously they'll be used for different activities. You know, for example, we can go fishing. I don't think we'll catch any fishes right now, because usually you'll see like a silhouette of the fish if, you know, a good chance of you catching a fish occurs, but that's not there, so we're not going to catch one, so we'll just get out of that. But we can also shovel up these little tree trunks, because they're kind of an eyesore, or make holes, although I didn't mean to do that. However, making holes, we can plant various things, like an orange tree, for example. Anyways, let's dig up this tree trunk here. Don't make me a liar, game. Oh, look, we found a prickly droop. Okay, interesting. I never found one of these before. Did we make it on the leader? Oh no, not even close. Still pretty interesting. Let's plant something else here. Here we go. Now, when you plant your things, whatever you happen to plant, you can actually take out your watering hoe, and yeah, there you go. You water it, and that'll help it grow. That'll also give us a little bit of XP. And doing a variety of different things will give you XP, and eventually you'll get a higher level, which will open up more stuff for you to customize your character and your town with. That's, again, really the ultimate goal. So if you guys are younger than the times of Animal Crossing, kind of think sort of like Minecraft-ish. I mean, you don't really build your area with brick by brick kind of way, but rather you kind of build it through objects that's already been created. It's a lot of customization is what I'm trying to say, right? That's really the end goal here, the incentive to keep playing. But anyways, let's grab our fishing pole. Looks like we got a silhouette of a fish here, so we might actually be able to catch him. We can entice him with a little bit of fish bait, which we'll try and do. Oh, look at that. Catching him's a little tricky. Oh, we gotta click. Oh, we missed it. We gotta click the bobber when it's in the green zone. It's actually kind of challenging, to be honest. But anyways, that's fishing for you. Let's go and there we go. When one of the plants are ready to, I don't know, to pop up, I guess, then you just have to click the check mark. Everything's all about clicking in this game. Again, because this is pretty much an iOS port, right? Now, not all tools are infinite in use. Some of them are finite, like these pickaxes here, right? But they're timed. They'll automatically regenerate in their use, or in their energy, whatever you want to call it, through just playing through the game. It's kind of like Animal Crossing in that everything is real time, right? Like if you were to plant a garden, for example, there'll be a timer that'll show up when the tree will be ready. Like, for example, this thing here. I have 8 minutes and 14 seconds left to go in real time before I can harvest this tree, right? So that's kind of interesting. It does take real time into consideration. Now, in Harvest Moon, the game kind of gave you special events during holidays, like during real-life Christmas, for example. I am curious to know if this game will do the same. Obviously, this game being fairly new, one of the first times I've played it. Well, not one of the first times, I'm about 3 hours in. But I am curious to know if the game does the same thing as Animal Crossing, and that will give you like a special event, or maybe a special item during holidays. I think that would be kind of neat. I don't know if it actually does that, but again, I think that would be kind of cool if it did. I don't know why I can't dig up these. Oh, here we go. There we go. Say we can dig up these tree trunks, and we can always just fill in the hole. There we go. Now the terrain looks a little bit smoother, a little bit nicer, right? Anyways, let's work on our garden a little bit, just so I can show off the farming aspect of this game. Alright, well, let's get our little tool here. Break up a little bit of dirt. So it has a little bit of Harvest Moon in this game, a bit too. I would still compare it a lot more to Animal Crossing than to Harvest Moon, though. The whole gardening aspect and the farming aspect is relatively limited in comparison to, say, any real Harvest Moon game, right? But as far as activity is concerned, it is actually quite comparable to, say Animal Crossing, right? Now, one thing about Animal Crossing has potentially over this game, I'm not quite sure, because I might just not be far enough into the game to actually experience this thing, but in Animal Crossing, one of the biggest unlocks in that game, one of the biggest incentive to keep playing for the player is that you can actually unlock real NES games, right? Like Excite Bike, or even Mario, you know, Tetris, and all that kind of good stuff. Now, obviously, this game's not going to have real NES games, right? It's not a Nintendo game. However, I'm curious to know, will mini games be available later on as I play through the game, right? Now, this is an impression. This is kind of like my first 3 hours experience with the game. And because the game really dictates on real time, right? Like 24 hours is actually 24 hours in this game as well. And because, you know, you don't really get to experience everything in this game until you play literally for weeks or months at a time, it's really hard for me to say if all the content is good or if all the content is as good when in comparison to, say, Animal Crossing, right? So, again, I'm not quite sure what else this game has to offer as far as extra content is concerned. But speaking from Animal Crossing, one of the coolest things, again, was the little mini games that you can unlock. And again, I'm not quite sure if this game actually have that feature or not. But in the first 3 hours I've played so far, I haven't really experienced any kind of mini games, so it's something worth noting, right? Anyways, let's do a quest. Let's see what this guy's saying. Hey, buddy. Quests. Flowers always brighten up my day. Grasshopper. I step outside. Their smells welcoming me. Plant a few more flowers around my house, please, and plant some more around the island. We need color. It helps identify the gray, dull spots in life. You can plant. Okay, blah 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 blah. I get you. Plant some flowers. Alright, let's see. We gotta plant 10 flowers, so I guess we'll do that. One of the best ways to level up and to progress through this game is definitely through doing a whole bunch of quests, right? Now, the only thing about the quests is that they can become quite repetitive after a little while. In fact, that could be really said about most of this game, right? I'm about 3 hours in, and I do find it a little bit grindy, actually quite grindy. It does take quite a while to have enough currency and progression to really do anything. Like I said, I'm 3 hours in, haven't made it off the first island yet, right? But Animal Crossing was also very similar in that way as well, because, you know, these kind of games are meant to be played over real time, over a long period of real time, over months and even years, right? As you celebrate Christmas and Halloween, in Animal Crossing, they were celebrating Christmas and Halloween. So that's again, one reason why I can't really say the true quality of this game quite yet. I can only speak what I've experienced so far in the first 3 hours. But going back to what I was saying, I kind of feel it's a little bit grindy because, again, it is sort of part of the nature of this genre of games, right? So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is something I think people should be aware of. But like Animal Crossing, I think this game, well actually I think it would be pretty accurate to say, considering this was originally designed for iOS as well, which is mobile obviously, and considering the way that Animal Crossing is designed, this type of game really isn't meant to be played for long stretches of hours at a time, right? It's really meant to be played every now and then, maybe an hour or two every day, not even that even. In fact, the game even encourages daily returns rather than long stretches of play, in that every time you log in, you get, you know, a little special prize, a little bonus. If you log in every day in a week, you'll get an extra little bonus, right? But there's no real incentive to play for like 5 hours at a time. So it really goes to show the intention of the design in this game, right? So there you go. Not really meant to be grinded, but in small little spurts, I have been enjoying the game, I must say. I am curious to know if later on down the road, especially during special events, like real life special events like Christmas once again, to know how it would affect this game. And really, those little kind of details that Animal Crossing brought to this genre, this open world sandbox kind of genre, it was that little, you know, little touches, you know, having actual Christmas happen in the game as you're celebrating it, or actual Easters and all that kind of stuff, right? So hopefully this game will go as nitty-gritty into the little details as Animal Crossing did. It's inspiration. It's very obvious inspiration. Even the graphics kind of look like Animal Crossing a little bit, hey? And I actually kind of like the graphics, in fact. Speaking of which, it's pretty low poly, but again, that's not really a bad thing necessarily. It's very charming, and it's full of style, and it's wonderfully designed and all that, so I like the way it looks, you know, I definitely do. It has a pretty nice soundtrack to go with the visuals as well. It's quite soothing. But again, after long stretches, it might start grating on the nerves, but again, this game's probably not really meant to be played for long stretches. But that's generally how I kind of feel about this game, and it's pretty fun in short bursts, right? Again, I can't really speak on the overall quality of the game because it's really meant to be played over a long stretch period, and because of how new this game is to me, I can't really comment on that. But first few hours, pretty enjoyable for what it is, right? Pretty mindless. You're just clicking on things, honestly. It's sort of like, I don't know, if you play Facebook games, it's kind of reminds me of that a little bit in mechanics, but a little bit more satisfying than Facebook games, because you're actually able to customize your character and your town and earn new things, and there's a fair amount of things to earn too from the looks of it, so that's not a bad thing. But yeah, not the game that you'll be playing for like hours on end. But anyways, that's about it. Let's get out of this and kind of take a look at the menu, which is extremely limited because there is none and there's no extra features. There you go. Well, that was easy. That's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you found this enjoyable or informative, and if you did, you know, show me some love, like, share, fave, and comments. If you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll bring you more videos just like this. Thanks for watching, guys. All the shout outs.